It's not that corrosive, but under pressure, it will become over time quite damaging to pipelines, metal, steel. And so you've got to use a heavy chromated casing and special line. You can't just use any pipeline for that. I think they've come to realize, uh, because you will have these ruptures that occur. In Sartarsha, Mississippi, a really big one occurred where you had this instantaneous amount of CO2 reach up to the 150,000 parts per million concentration, which is about 5%, concentration. Right now we're at 0.04%
Wow.
concentration in just the atmosphere, or about 420 parts per million. But when you have a rupture, and that occurred from just some heavy rains causing the earth to shift, and it stressed the line and it cracked. But that particular line now, that CO2 plume that came out of that line traveled well over a mile and a half. They had to, hospitalize some of these people, but some that were very close to it suffered, greatly. I mean, the first responders had some great issues with that. They had people that were foaming at the mouth. They were unconscious. They had approached these cars. The blinkers were on. The doors were open, and they looked dead. They
Oh my
looked dead, but they
gosh.
were able to revive them. The problem with these plumes is that when they travel, they stick to the ground because it's unlike methane gas. Methane is lighter than air, where CO2 is much heavier than air, so it just stays on the ground in a heavy concentration.